Okay, so now you can see the mostly finished sculpture. Here it is, with all of its features added. Now you will notice that it's a little sloppy still, and there's a lot of refining that has to be done when we get to the leather hard stage. Some of these parts are starting to get a little bit firmer, some are still very plastic. I did add the eye stalk while we were gone, and I just did that out of a coil, and this was a tiny little pinch pot, and the coil actually went all the way. Can you see that? The coil actually went all the way up into this tiny little pinch pot. Rather than having a big ball of clay, I kept that hollow. So now what I have done is I've created a bomb, right? Because there's air trapped in here. So I will have to come into the back and make sure that I drive a little hole in there. And I think I'll just use that as some decoration, 2 little holes there, so I know that I've opened up that pinch pot and all the gas can get out. If I didn't do that, because I shaped it that way, and again, it was a tiny little pinch pot with this shaft went up inside of it, and then I was able to blend the sides of the pinch pot in. If I didn't do that, hot air would have expanded, this would have blown up. So now I've vented that and we're in good shape. I haven't cut the slot on the back. I haven't dealt with all the details around the opening of the jets. I haven't dealt with all the tiny little details, smoothing it out, getting rid of all the little clay boogers, adding in some other tiny little details, pressing those in perhaps. I haven't dealt with the little linear areas that I had originally designed around the jets, this feature. But I will. I'll get back in and I'll do most of that when it's leather hard. This pressing into the surface could have also been done at soft leather hard. So if it's a real issue for you to get your hand inside of your creature, then you may want to wait till that stage before you start adding any of these pressed in details on the exterior. So that's the bulk of the pot. I don't think we'll wind up doing much in the way of refinement. We might do one more video, we'll see. There's plenty of refinement to do this to make it really, really, really sharp. But remember, this is, I think I've mentioned it a few times, this is where students go wrong. They have an expectation that everything is to be perfect in the beginning. While this looks very interesting right now, it's far from perfect. It needs a lot of tuning up, but we have to let the clay get to the right state. So at this stage, what I would do when it's all constructed like this is I would bag it and I would let it dry just a little bit, and then I would go back and I would work on all those refinements. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. But all of the basic features are there.